another episode of Messy on Purpose.
We are back and ready to talk about social media.
We're going to dive into the haters, basically, right? That's kind of what we're covering.
I think just, social media in general and kind of the experience that you have using social media in a way that's not just for your personal use, because it changes for sure.
It definitely changes. So, like, if you go from just having like a Facebook or an Instagram where you post like your everyday like
family pictures,
or maybe you post once a month because you go on a trip or something or hiking or whatever it may be. Like when I was in Colorado, I posted about hiking all the time. Like that's all I did. So I was just like a picture of me and my dogs. That's why Nala won't take selfies with me anymore. But that's okay. But like, and then it changed. So then I was trying to build personal training and all that stuff. So then I started posting about that, and then I quit doing that, and now I'm like helping you, and I just post videos of my thoughts, and now we're building this podcast. So like it's you go through this like roller coaster, especially when you get into going from doing social media for personal. Just family, friends to see what you're doing, stay in touch, to building a business.
Yeah.
And building a business is a lot more work. You also get a lot more haters for no reason.
Absolutely no reason other than putting something out there. And anytime you're putting something out there, even on your personal page, you can have people, have their opinion on what you're doing, if it's right or if it's wrong. But I think when you're using it for more of a business purpose, you're inviting a larger audience, and there's going to be hate that comes along with that.
People are very opinionated. And what's easier than doing it on a keyboard? What's easier than doing it on your phone? You don't have to face anybody. You don't have to say anything to their face. I can tell you, well, it's not that hard, but like telling somebody the truth to their face or how you feel to their face and getting their reaction and dealing with their reaction is not going to be easy, right? So like, why not? If I don't really like you, I can put a comment on there, or I don't know you
virtually than in person to say something negative to somebody, especially a stranger. You wouldn't walk up to a stranger on the street and be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. But online, it's like, you suck.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot easier. It draws more attention for people to post negative comments than positive. And we've talked about this before. Like, you'll be scrolling and you see something you like, you might heart it or like whatever, but you'll keep on scrolling, whereas people see something they don't agree with or they don't like, and they will be quick to comment on it or say something. And it's like, man, why can't I get like the positive comments as opposed to just negative comments?
And like, I can say I'm guilty of it too. I've commented on things, or like I made a video before the election, right? About that girl with like the Kamal on her chest. And I'm just like, why would you do that? I mean, granted, I didn't like say anything mean, really. I was just like, I just don't understand why you would do that. And I did like a little stitch reel with it, but like, I definitely didn't think good things. Yeah. And I could have just commented on there and, made fun or said something mean. I mean, I think I did it the right way.
Agree with pulls your attention more than something that you're like, oh, that's cute or that's funny, and then you keep it moving.
Or like I send it to you, you know what I mean? Or Justin, like, oh, this is funny. Yeah. And then I send it to you, but like, I didn't like it. I didn't comment on it. I just quick share and moved on to the next one.
So ironically enough, as we've started this, and I've been a business owner now for 9 years, and social media, I used Instagram and Facebook. I have the pages for my salon, but a lot of it was, pictures of the hair, but before pictures, after pictures. In our society now, you have to not only be a hairstylist, a salon owner, but you're having to create content in order to get people visiting your page, following your page. Like, it's not like the days of old where you would just do hair and that was your work and people would talk about it and you'd get your clients. I'm very blessed that I have my clients that have had for years, but you definitely have to now create this content to get yourself boosted in the algorithm. It's like a whole job in itself. But since I've been doing it, I have tried to be more proactive about engaging with other people and hearting their stuff and commenting on their stuff, because I'm guilty of it too, where I just scroll on like, oh, that's nice, and you keep scrolling. And so I have to actively like, okay, let me go engage with other people. But it's very easy to. We've already like made it clear that I'm the nice one. I will not. I will not. I can't comment negative stuff on people. So I'm the type that if I don't agree with something, I'll keep scrolling. I'm like,
well, and it's not even like necessarily that I comment negative stuff. I don't even comment. Like, I really don't. I send it to you and I comment. Like, or I'll send it to Justin and I comment. Or that was like really honestly the only video that I've ever done.
But other people
that I'm just
are
like,
very quick to comment negative stuff.
Yes. So like us being nice and not nice kind of thing. Like I wouldn't even say nice and not nice. I'm just very blunt. I just say
and
it.
I'm like,
yeah, like she's gonna sugarcoat it. And
I do,
but
I'm
like,
hands.
But I'm also not. I'm not gonna go out of my way to just make someone feel like
mean
crap
to
or
somebody.
anything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna question your judgment, and if I actually care about you, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to be like, okay, this is an issue. But like doing it on social media, it's just honestly, it's the weak man's choice. Like you're basically commenting and making fun of somebody because it's easy. Because there's no way it's going to backfire on you, because what can they do? Comment back and you just you just stop responding, or there are people that are looking for that response. They want it. Like
there's trolls. They want to like they get off on people fighting with them and saying stuff back. And
I've had people do that, and I used to comment back because like I get
you want to defend yourself.
Well, and it's just like, are you really that stupid? Like some of the comments, I'm just like, I just don't understand it. And like I used to comment back, and occasionally I will, just because I'll feel like the need to like let's give them a little, And like I try not to do that, because it's not very good for me mentally, and then it's a waste of time. Yeah. But occasionally I still do it, and so it's kind of fun to go back and forth sometimes, because it doesn't get to me or anything, but we shouldn't engage. Really, that's part of the problem, but. What better way to grow a post and grow a page than to engage with haters? Because you're guaranteed a response.
People that love to fight back and forth, they're going to come back with a comment if you reply to them.
Yep.
And I'm the one that's like replying like, thank you.
Well, we have a great example. I posted a video of the podcast with Lee, and you guys gave some dating advice. Yes.
Just from our own personal experience. Not saying it was the right thing for everybody, but just because of what we've been through.
And the reason that I posted that was because of that, right? It starts conversation. It gives everybody a little thought process. Like some people it works for, some people it doesn't. We have difference of opinion. Give you something to talk about, right? Like comment on there. Tell us what your situation looks like.
If you don't agree, why?
Yeah.
Why don't you agree? What do you feel?
I love hearing everyone else's, like, I mean, for me, I'm not even in the dating world, and I was on that podcast.
Yeah, you're like, what?
And I on the podcast, I talked a little bit about being married and communication, and that's a lot of the reasons some divorce happens, and that's why we talked about that. And, like, it's just like, me giving advice isn't necessarily going to work for everybody. To me, marriage is easy. Like, I honest to God think it's easy. Like, it's easy as long as you communicate. You're there for each other, and, there's no BS. And
you have a completely different perspective than other people.
Right, and not everyone can see it that way. Also, not everybody's married to their best friend. Like, like, that. It's we know each other better than we know anyone else. Like, and that advice that I give doesn't work for everybody. But I have advice.
It works for you, and you're willing to share your experience, because there are going to be people. We've talked about this. I'm divorced with children. You're married with no children. There's going to be people that relate to you. There's going to be people that relate to me. There's going to be people that don't relate to either one of us. And we're just simply talking about our own experience experiences and what we've learned from those things. I don't
That's
think
it.
my opinion is right a lot of the time. If we're being honest, I've made mistakes. I'm just trying to, like, you know, wisdom that you've gained through going through hard times, you want to share that with other people to maybe save somebody from going through some of the things you've been through.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean my advice works for everybody. But back to that point, you posting the video.
We have a comment about how it's horrible advice, and we're just like, okay. And then, sadly enough, like it did hit
affect the person that was on the podcast,
right?
With us.
And that's
which is so sad to me. Like, you're taking time to try to give advice from the things that you've gone through in life, and like we said, it's a lot easier to comment something negative than to comment something positive. But, like, can't you just be quiet? like
why do we have
why do you want to hurt somebody's feeling? I'm fine. Now let me clarify that. You can think whatever you want about me. I have a really thick skin. I wouldn't have been able to make it through half the things in my life that I made it through if I didn't have a thick skin.
Same.
But some people really take it personally when you say negative stuff about them. And what's the point?
Yeah, and
if
it's
you
just
think it
just
was
be
shitty,
nice.
shitty advice, don't listen.
You know what else is cool about social media, especially Reels? Swipe, swipe, swipe. It's not that hard to, like, if you don't like something, like, I mean, not to get political, but if something liberal comes up, I typically just swipe. I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, it's not
I
for
have
me.
a lot of people on my social media that we don't agree on some things. Some we don't agree on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I care about them as people, so I just scroll on past whatever they have to say. Like, it's not that hard. Now, in saying all this, I welcome comments. You can say whatever you have to say. Like, I will engage with any comments, whether it's negative or positive.
I can't guarantee I'll engage because I honestly...
And Felicia might not be as PC with her engagement as I
am. And, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to say anything mean. I'm probably going to kill you with nice kindness. But, like, yeah. But, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to engage with negative comments. Like, it's, to me, a waste of time. And
well, to me, it's like, if you don't agree with what we're saying, tell us what you think about the subject.
But that, to me, isn't negative. You telling me your opinion isn't negative. Coming in and just saying, I hate this, or it's horrible.
I hope nobody listens to you.
Right. Like, that's not beneficial to anyone. That's just being negative. You're sitting in your own insecurities behind a computer screen or behind your phone.
Under your bridge.
Under the bridge. I mean,
in your troll kingdom.
Yeah, like, it's just, you're sitting there and you're spouting your insecurities, which is fine. Whatever makes you feel better, I guess. But, like, I'm not going to engage with that. And that, I mean, I welcome haters. Please continue to comment because it builds our following. It builds our
We love the engagement.
Yeah. But, I would love
take a step back for a second and think about the things that you say affecting other people.
Yes. And, like, I do think about that. Like, there are some things that I say that do affect people. And, honestly, usually when I do it, it's on purpose. And I have a purpose for it. I want you to think about it. And I know I hurt your feelings. But, like, sometimes you need to hear those hard things.
Yeah.
And I never do it to purposely hurt someone. I don't. I tell you because you need to hear the hard things so you can make a change and fix it. But that's totally different, in my opinion. And someone else might have something else to say about this. And please say it in the comments. But I think that it's easier to be upfront with people and honest because you care about them and you want them to make a better choice than to sit here and, oh, it's okay, sweetie. Keep dating the guy that you shouldn't date, or keep doing those activities that keep you from your kids, or stay at that job that you're miserable at. You know, like, it's just all of these things that, like,
but that's people that you actually care about on social media. I mean, like we said, there's a difference between your personal social media, your, like, business or influencer social media. I think that on my personal social media, there's a lot of times that like I said, I don't engage in stuff. If it's like family, it's a different story, or somebody you're very close with, your best friend, whatever, you might have something to say about their activities. But a complete stranger, you're not saying something because you care about me.
Well, and like those comments that I make are in person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't troll people
posting it on somebody's social media.
No, I'm never gonna blast you. If I feel like something needs to be said that I can't not say,
then let's have a conversation.
I'll either have the conversation, or if you maybe don't live here and I don't see you in person,
let's talk.
I'll shoot you a message. We can jump on the phone. But like a stranger, not only do I not care what you are doing with your life, but I'm not going to go out of my way to comment on it. Like I would rather, if something just blows my mind, send it to you in a message and be like, look at this.
Yeah.
Or Justin, he's way worse than me with social media, by the way. Like, I can show you some of the videos he sends me. I'm like, I don't even want to know
how you found this.
Yeah, or why this pops up on your phone.
Yes.
But
your For You page is off the hook.
I can tell you there's some things that he likes that I'm just like, oh my God. And like you giggle a little at the video, but it's just like, it's like, wow.
Well, different strokes for different folks, you know, and that's the beauty of our world and our lives is like, we all like different things. We all enjoy different things. We all have a different type of sense of humor. You like it. You don't have to agree with everything that you see. But I wanted to like segue into.
I keep getting off track.
I just was thinking about how. So we've kind of talked about like the importance of the business side of social media. We both use it to grow, you know, our content, our followers, but the personal social media.
And I don't have that, like, honestly.
I feel like you use yours more for like the content and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't really get on there for like leisure or anything. Like everything I post is like building following or like anything like that, or like my random thoughts. I mean, a lot of times I really just share those because I want people to think about these things, or it's, you know, I just want people to relate. You know, like it's okay to feel this way, or it's okay to like think about things that, you know, most people
let's be an example that you can throw yourself into the public eye, because that's exactly what we're doing when we're doing stuff like this. Is like we're swallowing all of our pride and like I'm throwing myself out there. You're putting yourself in the spotlight. You are opening yourself up to the negative comments more than the positive comments, honestly, because people will be faster with negativity than they will with something positive. We talk about it all the time, like Yelp reviews. It is so rare for somebody to go leave a review that's positive, that was like, oh, I had such a great experience, but God let you have a bad experience so quick to be on there leaving a bad review. Yes, like, oh, this was blah, blah, blah. How many times are you leaving a positive review? Like, that was a great experience. I have good experiences a lot in this town with different restaurants and stuff. I have not left a positive review because it's like, well, they were great. You know, like other people probably know they're great, but you have a negative experience. And
to be honest, I actually only leave good reviews. I've
never left a negative review.
I have left probably 2 negative reviews. And actually, I think they were both during COVID, and it was because a restaurant didn't let me in to put a mask on.
To walk to your table.
Yeah. So I left a review then because, one, I'm never going to go back there. But I've actually never, like, I don't go out of my way to do that. I only leave good reviews, and I usually do it because, like, the business asks you to. Yeah. I don't even think about it most of the time. Or if something just blows my mind, I'll do it. But, like, I really do not try to leave negative reviews because I know how businesses work and I understand it. And it's not fair just because I had a bad experience.
But you know, the crazy thing is, as a salon owner, I think I was like year 3 into owning the salon, and I was able to track how many clients I had done their hair, and it was in the thousands of clients. Now, to be upfront and be vulnerable. There are days where like I'm in the salon and I'm doing the best of my ability. I want every client to love their hair. I want them to have a great experience. I don't like canceling on people unless it's an emergency where I absolutely can't be there. I have been working on days where I've had grandparents die, where I've been going through a divorce, where I have all this personal stuff going on. You're not telling your clients about that. But all of that being said, doing thousands of people's hair, you'll have, like your 10 negative reviews of people that did not like their hair or had other expectations or got mad because I did a test strand to see if their hair could have lightener on it. And they are quick to leave those reviews. And those are the only reviews people see when they go to look, because people aren't leaving the positive reviews. They've been coming to me for 6, 7, 8 years, but they're not leaving the positive reviews, which all goes to show people are very fast to say something negative, but not so quick to say something positive.
That just reminded me, I probably should leave you a review, because I don't think I ever have.
I don't ask people for reviews because I want it to be an honest thing. Like if somebody feels the need, but I can tell you after having a business, I've had people threaten, like, if you don't give me a refund, I'll leave you a bad review. Leave the bad review. That was your experience. I don't want to lie to anybody. Like if you had a bad experience, you had a bad experience. But if you look at the thousands of people that have come through and hundreds that continue to come back to get their hair done.
Well, people are ruthless too. So Justin actually sold a vehicle to somebody, and like they tried to be like, well, if you don't take this back, we're gonna leave a review on your business page, which has nothing to do. He's a commercial realtor, like that has nothing to do with like the private side of his life, selling a vehicle or anything like that. It was just and it wasn't like he ripped them off or anything. Like it was people literally, I just don't want it anymore. Like they knew everything that was wrong with it. Like it was all up front, but it was just like I don't want it anymore. I want to return it. And if you don't.
I've had people use it against me. Like they're going to blackmail me. Like I have had a specific person that was like, I'm going to ruin your name in Las Vegas if you don't do blah, blah, blah. You go ahead. I have enough people. I stand behind my work. I think I do a great job. I have clients that I adore, that I love, that have come back to me year after year. Do whatever you need to do, but you're not going to blackmail me with a bad review. But people will use that. And Yelp isn't even like a social media thing, but just like in general, those type of things where people are, well, I'm going to put something up about you on Facebook.
Well, I mean, technically, Yelp kind of does play into that same thing, right? Though, like it's not any different than reviewing you on Facebook or reviewing you on Google.
Yeah.
Where do people go to find?
And I can't leave a review for my clients,
right.
Like it would be wonderful if I could say this woman cussed me out and threw her coffee across the salon, but I can't. And if I'm being professional, if somebody leaves a bad review, I'm not going to list all the things out there about you that were like bad as a client. I'm just going to take it to the chin, and like people that want to come to me, they're going to come to me. People that know how I am, they're going to take that with a grain of salt. Like I'm not going to be blackmailed.
I strongly believe in karma. And I honestly do think you get what you put out there. Yeah. And by being the better person and just taking the crap that somebody throws at you sometimes, because it's going to happen. There's people out there that are just negative and miserable, and they want to make everyone else miserable, right? You just take it, you ignore it, and you move on. Like, don't take it to heart. Don't let it affect you, but also don't retaliate.
Yeah.
Because that does affect you too.
Yeah.
If you're constantly like, oh, I'm gonna get them because they said this or they said that, like, no. And that even goes back to like holding grudges too. Like we've talked about this before, but like you hold on to a grudge, who does that affect? You. Yeah. So same thing with like a negative comment, whether it's on social media.
I hate to get a bad review because there is never a time I'm in the salon and I'm like, let me half-ass this person's hair. Right. Like I'm trying to do the best of my abilities. Everybody's hair is different. Their expectations are different. I hate to get a bad review, but
you wouldn't be in this business if you liked it.
Yeah. I'm also not going to like respond to that with more negativity. Like, no. I'm sorry that you had that experience. If I can rectify it, I'm going to rectify it. If you don't want me to rectify it, I'll leave you in peace. And I hope you find the best person for you.
Yeah.
But I brought all of that up to bring up, like we talked about, it's just so easy to focus more on the negative. I think negativity gets more attention.
It does.
For sure.
It really does. And like something we were going to touch base on, which we might as well jump into that too, is the toxic positivity too. Like there is also the other side of that where if you're overly positive, now you're just covering things up. You know, you're not really getting into that underlining by being too positive either. But that you never see that on social media unless
it's somebody that's posting like positive quotes all the time. I was
just gonna say, like, all the positive quotes, you are guilty of it. I don't post, like, I post them like once in a while, but like, and it's usually a video.
Occasionally, but I'm like, I post that more for myself as a reminder for myself. You're not gonna see it every day, and you're also gonna see like the real stuff too. Like,
but there are some pages that it's all these quotes and these quotes and these quotes. Page. And like they're hiding behind these quotes, but they're not actually making the decision to take action and change things in their lives to live up to these quotes. And so you have like both sides of it. There's the toxic positivity and the toxic negativity. And you have to find that balance. And I think the balance is really just finding where you're happy with dealing with the real truth of life and the situations you're in, and taking responsibilities for why you're in those situations, and taking action on the things that you need to do to get where you want to go. And also in that same realm of things, you also need to be positive enough about what you're doing, where you're at, and like looking for that. Hard to explain, but like you're looking forward in a positive manner while you're working through everything that isn't always positive. And it's not toxic to be that kind of positive. It's the over positivity to cover the lack of action. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Where you want to have some optimism that you're able to change the things and move forward, because not every situation is sunshine and rainbows and roses. Like, some situations suck. Are we going to move into, or let's like switch topics and go into the toxic positivity?
Might as well. Because I think there's not much left to cover when it comes to social media and negativity. I mean,
we'll wrap it up. Like, if I could give any piece of shitty advice, you don't have to listen to me. Maybe make a conscious effort to, if you are a person that's putting negative things out there all the time, maybe try putting some positive stuff out there too. Like, it can make somebody's day. It can make a difference in how they feel about themselves to get a few positive comments.
And not only are you doing a kindness for other people, but you're doing something for yourself too. Yeah. Because nothing feels better than doing something nice for somebody else. It's oddly enough, like, I like to do those little things. I'm so weird. But I do things like the baking to give away things for free, or like I like to walk around when I do walks with my dogs, occasionally we'll bring grocery bags and we'll just fill them up with trash to pick up trash. I put carts away that are put in weird places because people are lazy and don't put their carts away. You know, those little acts of kindness. Giving somebody a random compliment. You go to a business today, leave a review. Yeah. And a good one. Yeah. Not the negative experience. What was positive in it? Because in every experience you have, every negative
huge difference in people's, you can make somebody's day or you can break somebody's day by just a little act of kindness.
And you don't know where they are, what their situation is, or what it may be, and it could make a total change in their entire day just by that little bit of positivity. And I honestly really do feel like in every negative situation there is a bright side. Whether you see it right away or if you see it later on, there is a bright side in every negative situation.
So we'll close out on the social media. Keep that in mind as you're scrolling through your social media. And like we said, we appreciate and encourage any comment that you want to send our way about our podcast.
Positive or negative. We take them both.
We embrace it all.